go over to you.
Hey, this question is for Coach Van Horn, Daniel over at hogbeat.com. I'm curious, you said yesterday, that this weekend is not necessarily indicative of, the entire season. But just curious, what are some of the things you're hoping to take away from this season, or this weekend, that you can look at and kind of get a more of a long-standing picture at for the rest of your team?
Yeah, I mean, I've been to a few opening weekend tournaments like this. A lot of times it's second weekend, you get to play somebody else first weekend and then head down there. This is a little different this year, into the Houston tournament and a few others where opening weekend when it hasn't gone well and when it's gone really well. And, one tournament we went 3-0 and we didn't play that good that year. We beat some good teams. One year we went 1-2, maybe 0-3 and ended up in Omaha. So, you just try to figure out a few things. You can scrimmage all you want. Kids get tired of scrimmaging and playing against each other. You find out a little more when you're playing outside competition. But this weekend, or actually next weekend, when we play, we're going to be playing really good teams that are every bit as good as we are, talented, and you just find out who can compete, who can handle maybe the stage that we're playing on, and you probably learn more about what you need to work on, the deficiencies, the little things. Compare yourself to these other teams and where they're at this time, and then you try to get better. I mean, there's a lot you can learn from playing outside competition and the competition that's strong this early.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah. Dudley Dawson.
Dudley Dawson, hogbill.net. Coach, can you talk a little bit about Parker Cole coming back and kind of where he fits into the mix?
Right now we see Parker as a middle reliever. He can do a little bit of everything. He comes in the game, he just fills up the zone. We know they're going to make some contact. We have to field the ball. I don't feel like any moment's too big for him. He's pretty calm, cool, and collected. And fastball velocity's up a little bit. I mean, we had 11 kids drafted last year, and he was one of them, and he's the only one that came back. And, we didn't get to use him in Omaha last year because his arm was sore, bothered him a little bit. And I don't know. I think he felt like that he wanted to come back and finish up, and he's going to graduate. And I feel like he'll get a chance to play pro ball, but his role will be a little bit of everything. But first couple weekends out, will probably be out of the bullpen.
Also, Colin Fisher, you talked about filling up the zone with some strikes the other day. Is this a breakout year for him and the possibility of it?
I think he's kind of just man on a mission. Got hurt his freshman year, kind of came in hurt, and then sophomore year, still recovering a little bit, but the velocity is up. The command has always been there. Now he's got them all working a little bit. Where it looks like we're going to be able to start him. He's got 3 he can throw for a strike. At one point the other day in a scrimmage, he threw 12 strikes in a row. Maybe that's too many, but you like that type of guy to start, especially late in the weekend, maybe.
One last thing, who all has a shot there at third base?
Right now, I'd say Pompey and possibly Souza. Still coming back from the shoulder injury. If Pompey's not playing there, it could be Brumbaugh, freshman. If he's not playing short, that's who I would say. Coach can play third, but he's really improved at second. His quickness and his mobility. He's played extremely strong. Last year, that was Souza's spot, and he's an incredible athlete over there. But his arm strength is not where it needs to be yet due to the surgery. He had surgery in May. I think he'll be ready to play somewhere in the field in the next few weeks, but I don't know about in 10 days.
Appreciate it.
Chris Lee.
Chris Lee, Southeastern 16. This question's for Tim Corbin. Hey, Tim, where are you in terms of knowing who your 9 in the lineup opening weekend will be? And then within that, like where those guys will play? Because I know you might know your options, but your range of where those could be in the field is pretty big range of options there.
Yeah, it would probably closer to having an idea about 6 of them right now. I think, Barzy behind the plate. Outside of that, it's been more about health and not necessarily winning a position right now. I think, kind of to Dave's point, I think you're learning a lot about your team. And although we've been here for 5 weeks, you don't learn until you start playing. This is a very fluid process, and oftentimes you don't get a complete lineup until April. So I think right now it's just putting the guys that you think are most ready to compete during the course of the weekend, and then take it from there. But I'd say we're probably right around 6 right now of kind of at least definitive guys for that for one day, and then could change the next day.
Follow up, but with your bullpen, do you know what the back end is going to look like, or is that just going to be kind of a mix and match situation?
A lot of, more of the same. It kind of has to be mix and match right now to see who can handle those spots and handle those roles as we get going.
Noah.
Yeah, I've got 2 questions for Coach Skip Johnson of Oklahoma here. One on the roster and then one on the schedule. First off, it's no secret, lose a little bit from the weekend rotation from last year, retooling it for this year. Can you detail us on some of the arms that you expect to take big steps up and pitch a bulk of your innings this year?
Yeah, I would think Cam Johnson really had a really good fall. And we got a transfer named Drew Rick from Texas. It's been really good. I don't know really what the Sunday might be a freshman. We have our freshman class has been really good, and we have some junior college transfers as well. So I think that's kind of I got a Cowboy hat at home and put their names in, and I draw it out, and that's who's going to pitch that day. So that's kind of the Cowboy hat deal.
All right. And then for the schedule question, last year you guys played in a midweek, you and Oklahoma State. This year you get the return game in Norman. We're also seeing you guys play this first weekend here in Arlington. Is there any ideas or future plans of you guys playing in a weekend series, kind of renewing that rivalry?
I don't know that yet. We just kind of, our schedule's tough. It's a good schedule. I think the biggest thing for me is making sure we at least play them once or twice. Just like Coach Van Horn said, this weekend or the first weekend of our season is a really good tournament. I mean, you're playing really good baseball teams. I mean, we were in that conference. Every one of those teams are fundamentally sound. They're really talented. And you get to really see your deficiencies. But playing Oklahoma State the first weekend, it'll be fun. I mean, the rivalry, you can say it, the rivalry, but I mean, you got to be able to be better at playing catch, throwing strikes, and putting the ball in play. I mean, that's your rivalries against the baseball, not really against the opponent too much. And so I think that's a big deal. And what we try to do at the University of Oklahoma is just, be really good at baseball and understand that side of it versus the other.
Thank you.
Members of the media, if you have questions, hit the raise hand icon. Josh will go over to you.
Coach Van Horn, I got a couple questions. Hunter Dietz, how is he feeling heading towards opening day? Will he be ready for you?
He's ready, finally. Excited for him, just because of what he's gone through. He was when we got him committed and signed his senior year, we didn't know if he'd make it to school. Big kid, great high school baseball program reputation, big time players, and so he's going to be heavily scouted. And started out real well his senior year, and then it kind of faded. Then he rested. Didn't sign, didn't get drafted, and then we got him in here, and he was amazing because he was rested. And then it started going backwards, and arm was bothering him a little bit, and he just had that issue with the bone, and finally just said, let's just get it fixed, get ready for the future. And then last year, his sophomore year, he had a couple of good innings, but he was still a little nervous to let it roll and let it rip, so to speak. And went out to summer ball, pitched in the Cape a little bit, got in a routine, and came back this fall and basically said, this is what I am, and here we go. And he seems to be 100% healthy. He's very confident. I like his demeanor on the mound, and his stuff's really good.
And then with Ryder Helfrich, you've had excellent catchers come up through your program. What makes him stand out, and what are you hoping to see in his next step of development?
Well, what I really like about Ryder is he's athletic, and most of the catchers we've run through here or come through here have continued to get better, but they're pretty athletic. They could honestly play another position if they weren't catching. And when we knew Ryder was a catcher, but when we went and saw him play, he was playing shortstop, and then he played second base. And we loved the way he moved, and we liked the way he fielded the ball. We said we didn't even see him catch. We didn't need to see him catch. I mean, I didn't see James McCann catch either. He was playing third base, but he'd been working at catcher, and it worked out. So Ryder's development back there is just as the way he calls pitches. You know, we let our guys call pitches. Now we can give them a little suggestion here and there, and they might look over at us in a tough situation, bases loaded, 2-2 count. What do you want here? Or if we want to get one in, we'll get one in. Pitcher still doesn't have to throw it, but we just want him to be convicted whatever they throw. But his blocking skills have been great. His throwing he's always had a really strong arm. Now it's become very accurate. I think he's just relaxed and he doesn't muscle up. And, the offenses took off last year. We could see it coming. And then he's just the overall package right now. I mean, the pitchers want to throw to him. They have confidence in him, and whatever he puts down, they're going to go with it about 95% of the time. So just full package, full development, and I think he's going to play for a long time.
Chris Williams.
Chris Williams, Rev Entertainment. This is for Coach Johnson. Coach, you guys were obviously here and opened up the season in Arlington a few years ago. Can you just speak on what playing in an early season tournament like this does for your team moving forward, especially with the caliber of teams that you'll see this year?
Well, I think it does a number of things. I think it's already been mentioned, but see them play in that environment and see if they're in control of themselves one pitch at a time. I think that's a really big deal to understand. If they get sped up, if they don't get sped up, your deficiencies on from pitch calling to signals to the whole continuity of just playing baseball. I mean, it gets old playing yourself, and so I think see how competitive those guys are. They get non-competitive in that arena. So I think that's the biggest drawback. I mean, it's going to be exciting. You're going to be playing in front of big environments, and I think it's just going to get better. I mean, it's just like a week in the SEC. Every environment you play in the SEC is just like this weekend, and so it's our next weekend. So it should be fun.
Noah, we'll go back to you.
I have a question for Coach Van Horn of Arkansas. Earlier, you said that TJ Pompey would most likely or factor in at third base and could possibly factor in elsewhere. I would like to ask you a little bit about Carson Brumbaugh. And can you remember the last time you had a freshman shortstop start on opening day? I'm not saying that they may be the case this year, but especially if a freshman's starting for you at shortstop for Arkansas this year, can you tell us a little bit about Brumbaugh and the potential around that, historic accomplishment?
So as I said a while back, at the time, I couldn't remember one, but then I was reminded that Tim Smalling, I think it might have been 2006, 7, somewhere in there, kind of the same type body style, a bigger kid. Carson Brumbaugh has put on 25 pounds since he's been here. He's full grown now, and he came early. We had all of our pitchers come early if they could to summer school so they could work with strength coach like a lot of people do. And Carson was a pitcher as well, but more of a position player in my eyes. But he just wanted to come over early, and it really helped him. And then continuing on, he's a big kid now. He's strong enough. And but yeah, that was the last time. And, you know, what he does is he feels the ball good. He's got a really strong arm. He's got a little bit of a longer arm stroke from short or infield play. But as far as turn double play and things like that, we've shortened him up. But yeah, quickness and strength. He brings some power. He's got some oppo power. I mean, he's from a baseball family. As Skip knows, his older brother is now there. I think he might have got hurt, but at Oklahoma. But I don't think he gets too uptight. He's had his moments where it didn't go great, and I didn't see him losing it. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out if that's what we decide to do.
Thank you.
Chris Lee.
Yeah, Chris Lee, Southeastern 16. This one's for Skip Johnson. Skip, want to ask you about two of your newcomers, Dayton LaChance, your catcher, and Mason Bixby, your pitcher. Just what are their attributes? Where do they fit in for you?
Yeah, Dayton should start. I mean, we got here back from Christmas and he had mono, so it kind of set him back a little bit. He's really an offensive player, can really catch and throw, he's a lot like Jimmy Crooks. I mean, he understands the relationship between pitcher and catcher. I mean, I think he had 106 RBIs in junior college. He got some big power, understands how to hit. He's just when you watch him play, it's like it's a breath of fresh air because he plays with some passion and he seems like he's smiling all the time. And that's a fun thing for us coaches. And who was the other one? Chris?
Mason Bixby.
Mason Bixby's a transfer from TCU. When I went and watched him pitch this summer, he went in the portal, went and watched him pitch, and he had a big arm, kind of all over the place, scattered a little bit, tried to simplify his approach and his delivery a little bit. And he's been a lot better this spring. You know, he's got a good arm. He looks like an NFL quarterback. He moves like that around the mound. I mean, it's dynamic movements. And the thing is, just try to simplify and try to make the process a little simpler for him. And not that it might not have been a good fit at TCU. Who knows? We just got here and you know, it might be more comfortable. Who knows that? But he's been really good. He wasn't really good when he first got here. Throughout the fall, he's got a lot better. In early spring right now, he's been really good in our, you know, 2 and 3 inning stints on the mound.
Don Williams, we'll go to you.
Yeah, I have a question for Coach Corbin at Vanderbilt. Coach, I was just curious, with the way last season ended, obviously it's not what anyone expected. How did that affect, I guess, you, your staff, and whatever returning players in their off-season preparation for this year?
Yeah, I just think separation's really important regardless of year to year. I mean, you could win national championship and you've got to separate that real quick too. I mean, I think recovering from winning is just as important as recovering from losing. And, you know, what happened last year happened last year. I mean, we grew as a team and played well towards the end, and we got stuck in our own regional. It won't be the first time that's happened before. But it doesn't really have a bearing on, you know, moving forward. We don't talk about it, and it's not a point of reference. It's an experience for the kids, guys who have been there before. I'm sure in their dorms or when they go out, they may talk about those things at certain points. But in terms of what we're doing, it's just about the group that you have right now and moving forward with them.
Chris Williams.
Chris Williams from Rev Entertainment. Just had another question for Coach Van Horn. Coach, you guys have obviously become a mainstay in Arlington and have participated in the tournaments the last several years. Can you just describe what your experience has been here and what you're looking forward to this year?
Yeah, it's been a great experience every time. You know, maybe not necessarily because we've won games or obviously lost games. It's in a good part of the country for our fan base. We have a lot in the Metroplex. I mean, I would say 40% of the University of Arkansas enrollments from the state of Texas, seems like. And I have kids from Texas. And what you get there is they run it first class. You know you're going to play. You know what the temperature is going to be. The field is always in amazing shape. Hotels are great. Food's great. Kind of reminds you a little bit of being in Omaha in a way. Just the way the excitement around the ballpark, people can hang out. The weather's nice. There's a lot of traffic, a lot of people moving around the ballpark. And I know that our fans look for it every year. I mean, everywhere I go now, people are telling me they're coming to Arlington. And I think maybe that's one reason they like having us, because we bring a lot of fans with us. So it's been a great experience. And I actually, commented a couple of years ago to those that run it that anytime you want us, we'll be there.
We'll go over to Noah Bannock.
I've got another question for Coach Skip at Oklahoma. Last year, you had the two brothers in the weekend rotation. Can you tell us a little bit about the Mercurius brothers for the upcoming year that you have on the staff this year?
Yeah, LJ's a junior and Xander's a freshman. LJ's a little bit different, pitchability guy that can really pitch. And Xander's more of a guy looks like Kyson, has some of the similarities, not as big as stature, physical, got a really good arm, and mean. I mean, Xander's got whatever it is. He gets after it a little bit. Sometimes you got to calm him down a little bit. And LJ's, got the flash. He's kind of been around it, been through. He was like one of the best pitchers at UNLV. So it's they're totally really two different type of people. It's kind of odd a little bit, but it's fun to coach.
Matt Grissom.
Hey, Matt Grissom, College Baseball Central. This is for Coach Van Horn. When you think back of the teams that you've had play deep into June, without putting much emphasis on this opening weekend in Arlington, what can you take away that maybe teams were doing well on or off the field that made an impact later on in the season?
Well, every year is different, obviously, a lot of different personalities. I think the key, especially now with the way rosters change, is fall ball is extremely important. And a lot of things have to happen besides just how we play on the field. The guys got to get to know each other, a lot of bonding, relationships need to be built. And, I feel like this team has done a really good job of that. And last year's team, we knew 3 weeks into fall ball that this team was pretty good, but we knew that they liked to play baseball and they liked each other and they hit it off. So we're trying to model some of the things we did last year in the fall, early spring with this team, and I think it's been good. We lost a lot of players from last year, obviously, and it's just the way it is. But I don't know. It's a tough one to answer. There's a lot of ways I could go with it, but this team's athletic, and we throw strikes, so we got a chance.
Thank you.
2 more questions. We'll start with Don.
Staying with Coach Van Horn for a moment. Coach Don Williams from the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. Regarding back on TJ Pompey for a moment, I was curious, since he played here in Lubbock the last couple of years, when he came to y'all, was there any element or aspects of his game that he wanted to work on, or that y'all saw areas for improvement based on, seeing him on videotape or what have you, or in fall ball?
And everybody has things they need to work on. And I feel like that TJ's coming in here with an open mind and an attitude to get better. And, I think deep down, he'd probably like to play shortstop like every infielder, but he had to go earn it. It's been a pretty good battle there. I play all my guys all over, second, third, and short for the most part, if they're a shortstop in all of our workouts, scrimmages. And I want them to learn how to turn the double play from both sides of the field and make accurate first throws and why, so they know when they're playing there and different things. But TJ's an outstanding second baseman, outstanding third baseman, and he's kind of a work in progress at short. And I think he would tell you that. but he's hit some balls really hard here. Swings and misses a little bit, but he's also hit some balls 420 feet, more than one. And I hope he has a good year. He got the injury last year, played in like 16 games or something. And his freshman year, I don't know if he played, I think he played third as a freshman, more started at second as a sophomore. And obviously here we are now, but he's in the lineup and he's quiet. I've tried to get him to talk more. I'm with him pretty much every day with the infielders, and that's his personality. There's no rah-rah on him really, but I've seen him get excited when he makes a big play or hits a ball a long way, or one of his teammates do it. So I feel good about that. And hey, let's see what happens. But we're glad he's here.
Noah, final question.
I have one last one for Coach Corbin. Do you guys think in the preseason buzz from national media that your program has been a little overlooked? Last year, national seed, #1 overall in the NCAA tournament, bringing back a lot on the pitching staff. Connor Fennell had one of the best strikeout percentages in the country. Do you feel that you've been overlooked a little bit by the national media?
No, I mean, that really never crosses my mind. I don't look at that way. I think, the national media is for the fans, and it's for outside people that follow college baseball, and it's important to have that. But what's out there in terms of the media and how people feel about certain teams, I mean, that's not relative to anything that you do on a day-to-day basis. And I know kids look at a lot of things and they probably scroll a lot and see a lot of different things. But I think the job of all of us as teachers and coaches is just get them together and understand really what's important. And what's important is growing the team and just getting better at what you do and move from there. But that's really all I think about.